All right, folks, it's time to pay attention here because we are days or maybe even hours away from the next stimulus bill being passed into law. I repeat, a $748 billion stimulus bill is being finalized and is right around the corner. Given the breaking nature of the pending legislation, we've decided to do this episode a day early. So welcome to This Week, This Morning at Night. We've been able to learn quite a lot through the AICPA and other stakeholders about what is being drafted into law as I speak. I'm going to go over the latest of what is believed to be in the bill, but please bear in mind that nothing is final yet, but I have a good feeling that the final version of the bill won't depart substantially from what I'm about to share. So what's in it? I'm going to narrow my focus in this discussion to small businesses and individuals. Number one, a second round of PPP, which means small businesses will be able to apply for another PPP loan if they qualify under the new guidelines. And what are the new guidelines? The business must have 300 or fewer employees and must have experienced a 30% decline in gross receipts during any calendar quarter of 2020 compared to the same quarter in 2019. For businesses that weren't in operation for the entire year of 2019, there will be different comparison periods, although we don't yet know what those will be at this point. All PPP Round 2 loans will be subject to review by the SBA. The program will operate much the same as it did before, with a maximum loan amount of 2.5 times the average total monthly payroll costs, up to $2 million, an allowance for the same types of qualifying costs with the same allocation percentages as before. There is a slight chance that these loans could fund as early as the end of the month, but it's more likely that early to mid-January is what most businesses will be looking at. Also, if you haven't taken out a PPP loan yet, you will likely be able to qualify under the old rules, so your business can be 500 or fewer employees without needing to show a 30% decline in gross receipts. Number two, a new round of EIDL Emergency Grants with the same provisions of $1,000 per employee and $10,000 maximum. These grants, however, would only be for businesses that were forced to close down as a result of the pandemic. Number three, self-certification for round 1 PPP loans that are below $150K. Essentially, you just sign a one-page form attesting that you complied with all of the PPP loan requirements. Currently, that only exists for loans below $50K. And for loans between $150K to $2 million, you don't need to submit documentation proving full-time equivalents, payroll, or pay rates. Further, no canceled checks or receipts are required for non-payroll costs. However, you would need to retain these records to substantiate expenses in case of an audit. Number four, potential deductibility of expenses paid for by forgiven PPP funds. This is still being debated, but there's a strong bipartisan push against Mnuchin to have this included, as this was always been Congress's intent. The IRS used existing tax law to reason that because the loan forgiveness was not taxable, that the expenses are not deductible, which has historically always been the case. Congress is stating that this is a much different situation and needs to be treated as such. Number five, extension of unemployment assistance with a supplemental $300 per week for 16 weeks. Number six, extension of student loan forbearance through April 1st, 2021. Number seven, $25 billion would be allocated for emergency rental assistance and $13 billion for emergency food assistance. Further, the eviction moratorium would be extended through January 31st. And finally, number 8, stimulus checks. Yes, you heard me correctly. They're back on the table. The particulars are fuzzy here, but they very well may be the same as last time. So we're looking towards finalization of this bill over the weekend with an expedited signing into law early next week. I can't believe I'm saying this given where we were last week, but it looks like we're on the 2-yard line. Anyhow, if you're a small business owner and you think you might qualify for some of the new assistance under the second round of relief funding, you need to reach out to us so that we can get you set up to take advantage of these programs as soon as they roll out. That's all for now. See you guys next week.